Like, what is they doing? This lady comes back talking about congratulations. What's up, you guys? Your girl Kiara Chantel, and I'm back again with another video. And today, I know you've probably seen this shirt, this outfit already, but I decided to do 2 videos just to get this one out the way because I've been planning on doing it, but I just say never do it because I don't know if I'm scared or what the reason is. But today I'm going to be doing a story time about my ectopic pregnancy. So I don't know where to start, but I'm gonna start. I didn't know a lot of people went through what I went through until after it happened, and when it happened I didn't know what was happening. So to start off, I don't know if everybody's gonna watch this or like what everybody's thought process is on what I'm about to say. But in the beginning, when it started, I thought that I was just going through my cycle, you know, normal female life. I thought that it was just like cramps and things like that. I went on for at least a week and a half of thinking that it was just cramps and that my period was going to come and that, you know, just normal stuff. So I want to say it started in June. Not sure of the day or the week, but it started in June. And I remember, you know, thinking like, okay, I kept wanting to say that from like maybe my period gonna come, maybe I don't know. Nothing ever happened. It was all good up until July the 3rd, 2015. I was at work and I felt like I just could not walk. I felt like it was like pressure, just like like if any women out there ever had kids, you know exactly what I mean by a pressure on your pelvis. Like it just felt like pressure, like something was pushing down. And I'm like, I don't have to go to the bathroom. Like, I don't know what this is. So I was at work. And I worked at Marshall's at the time, so I was doing a lot of moving around because I was on the floor. So I was doing a lot of moving around. I closed that day, so I didn't get off until 9:30. This was when I was catching the bus. I didn't have a car yet, so I had to wait on the bus. Then I had to walk home. I had to do all this stuff. Mind you, at this time I have a 1-year-old at home, so I had to do all this stuff just to get home. And was like, all right Derek, we're gonna go to the hospital. So we goes to the hospital and they're like, is there a possibility you could be pregnant? And I'm like, no. At the time, before all this happened, I was on depot. So I'm like, no, like I'm on birth control. What you talking about? I'm not about to, no. So they doing all these different tests. So they're like, well, because you're a female, we still have to check and make sure, like, since you haven't started your period yet, we still have to make sure that you aren't pregnant. So I'm like, well, whatever. So me and Derek just sitting there in the room. I'm like, what is they doing? This lady comes back talking about congratulations. I'm like, for what? She's like, you're pregnant. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? She like, you pregnant. I'm like, what? Whew, so I'm back. I had a phone call. Now my camera all messed up. All right, so she like, congratulations. I'm like, congratulations for what? She like, you pregnant. I'm like, who pregnant? She like, you. I'm like, well, if I'm pregnant, then like what? Then when I'm in pain, what's the problem? So she like, well, that's what we're gonna figure out. So I don't mean to laugh, like it's not funny, but it it caught me by surprise. Like, I'm pretty sure it would catch anybody by surprise. They having pains, or they go to the hospital for one thing and they get told that they pregnant, and you know that you wasn't expecting to be pregnant. So I'm like, I asked, I'm like, well, what's the problem? Like, why am I in pain? So she's like, well, we're gonna figure that out. So they're like, we're gonna run a few tests. So because I'm pregnant, they're like, they don't want to do an x-ray. So they're like, well, we're going to do an ultrasound. So they put the monitor on my stomach, do all that. They like, we don't see nothing. So they goes, and like I said, females with children know exactly what I mean when I say this. So they go get the other one and they stick it inside of me. And when I say it was the most pain I've ever felt in my entire life, like, this is nothing like childbirth. It was nothing like childbirth at all. So they stick it inside of me and they're moving it all around and they're pressing on my stomach, and I'm literally in tears at this point. Like, Derek's not there and they got me in this room by myself and I'm literally in tears, and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, can you just hurry up and like tell me what's going on? So after all of that, of course they had us waiting again. So they come back and they're like, well, we're not equipped to handle the hospital that I'm at. They're like, oh, well, we're not equipped to handle this type of thing, so we're gonna have to send you over to Crozier. So I'm like, to Crozier? I didn't go there for a reason. What? So my first ambulance ride, like I said, by myself, because Derek had to drive the car to Crozier. We go to Crozier. They ended up giving me a shot. By this time, mind you, all this started at like 10-11 o'clock at night on July the 3rd. By this time, when I get to Crozier, it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So they're like, well, you're not that far along, so what we're going to give you is called like an MTX shot. So they give me this shot, and they basically say and what happens is it basically makes your body have a miscarriage. So in the end, you know what happens with a miscarriage. So I get this shot, I get home by 6 o'clock in the morning, tired, exhausted. It's 4th of July. I missed out on basically all the festivities that was supposed to be going on that day, and it was probably like the worst pain I ever experienced in my life. The worst feeling, not knowing what's going on, what's going to happen. This is something I just wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And after the fact, like, I'm not sure if I feel some type of way about it. Like, you know, it's, you know, near and dear to my heart, because of course when I had my son, that is my rainbow baby technically. Like, you know, even though it was years apart, that is still my rainbow baby. I love both of my kids equally, but I love my rainbow baby. To honor the baby that I lost, even though it wasn't planned, to honor the baby that I lost, I did get a tattoo. I have a tattoo on my leg. It is like the ribbon. It's blue and pink, and I don't have anything written on it. You know, if anybody was to ask me, I would tell them what it is. But you know, that's my story. This is just something that I wanted to maybe talk about. It was a conversation, something that I feel like many women can relate to. I didn't know that many women went through these things until I told them my story, or told them what was wrong with me, or why I was in the hospital, and they were like, oh, that happened to me. And a lot of people don't make it out with both of their fallopian tubes, because not usually, but a lot of times it could be life-threatening for not just you, but for the baby also, even though in the long run, anybody who ever had an ectopic pregnancy lost that baby. So this is just my story, but I want in this video because you know, it's a lot. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with anybody who might want to talk anything. Like I always say, I leave my links down below, my IG, Twitter, whatever. Y'all can hit me up on here, whatever y'all want to do. But I'm signing out. It's your girl Kiara Chantel. Peace.